Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Abe with mysticgenmara.com, and today I would like to talk to you all about Orgone energy, what it is, where it comes from, and how it affects each and every one of us. Orgone originally was a term coined by a Dr. Wilhelm Reich, a German doctor who was looking for ways to help people heal from a variety of disorders without the use of pharmaceutical chemicals or drugs. In his research, he found that there was an energetic connection between every living thing, and even a connection to things we at one point thought were not living. Substances like rocks, crystals, metals, dirt. Dr. Reich referred to this energy field as the cosmic orgone energy, also known as simply orgone. He found that this energy was everywhere and connected all things and could be used for a variety of purposes, including healing. This energy has other names around the world and throughout history. In the East, it is termed chi or prana. In the Greek legends and myths, it's called the ether, and it's spelled like A-E-T-H-E-R. This is the energy that sustains life. This is energy that creates life. So that's basically the idea of what this energy is. It's the energy field of life. It's the energy in its purest form. So as far as where it comes from, energy has always existed. It cannot be destroyed or created, only used and manipulated. So this energy could be considered technically the foundation of the universe, the building blocks. So now, how can this affect us? Well, it's a good question because it can be really good or really bad depending on the frequency that it's carrying. Everything is energy. We now know this from the researches into quantum physics. At its deepest form, there's no such thing as solid anything. It's all energy vibration. So energy in that state vibrates in a wave form, which we call frequency. If you introduce a complementary frequency, it creates vibrational harmony into a system. If you introduce a dissonant frequency, a non-complementary frequency, you get chaos. Now, apply this to your life. When you eat quality foods and you drink quality water, you are bringing in a complementary frequency of energy into your body, which equals out to a very positive effect within your body. Harmony, health, energy. If you eat junk food, named that way for a reason, honestly. Not that it doesn't taste good, but it is named that way for a reason. And you drink chemically toxic drinks, soda is probably one of the worst in my opinion. You get a negative effect on the body in the form of sickness, disease, and those always lead to things like pain, misery, depression, anxiety, a lot of the stuff that we deal with on a daily basis even today, and it would just be, a lot of it works back strictly to diet. But, so when that happens, we go to a doctor, and they give us a pill. Well, you're not solving the frequency problem, you're solving the symptom at that point. So instead of that, if you went to, and this is for like not broken bones and stuff, obviously, and this is not medical advice. This is just giving you the ability to understand a little bit more than maybe just hearing a term. So if you go to the energy healing practitioner, you're seeking to get a harmonious frequency brought into your body to realign you. Spiritual healing, prayer, being anointed with oil, some traditions are very strong with that, and meditation are all ways to attract and bring in these harmonious frequencies. At the onset, you'll almost always start to feel relaxed, and it's generally the relaxation occurs during the session, and then it will last for a period of time after. This relaxed state is when that harmonious frequency is trying to readjust your frequency to that higher, more positive state. And so staying in that relaxed state, going into a quiet place after especially a healing session, and just allow your body to rest and relax, it's the way to help that energy balance yours. During this time, though, it is very important to drink high quality water, like purified water or spring water is the best. And the reason I say that is purified, distilled would be preferred, but purified works. is as this is alignment is occurring in your system, your body is detoxing. So it's purging those negative energies, and the easiest way for your body to purge is to send it straight to your kidneys and to your bladder, and it will flush it out. So drinking high quality water after an energy work session is super important because it allows you to flush out the negative stuff that's being purged. So then some things that you can do, other things you can do are you can carry crystals that resonate with you as a way to attract more of this harmonious and balancing energy to you. Having live plants in your environment, not cut flowers, but actually potted root plants, helps to generate that more positive orgone type energy, and it just helps you feel better about yourself. And if you have them at your home, you can have them at work if you're allowed to. It's super important. And walking barefoot on grass or bare earth is a way to bring yourself into a more harmonious state, and I will get more into that here in a little bit. So we know what the positive energy can do for us. Now, the negative energy, which Dr. Reich would call dead orgone or stagnant orgone, he summarized it as DOR, D-O-R, dead orgone for short. This is energy that has been negatively charged. This is that not so healthy food. It's those not so great places that you can go. Dr. Reich believed that this negatively charged energy could result from a lot of different things. In his era, which was the first of the early 1900s, let's go there, he believed that it was something as simple as radio waves could cause massive disruptions in the human body because we are an energy frequency. And when you look into things like your third eye, your pineal gland, it actually is a radio frequency because there's crystalline energy in there. There's also optic nerves in there, so it can see. There's a lot that goes on within the center of our mind that is on a radio frequency or an energetic frequency area. And so what he was saying is these radio waves, we are picking them up. We're walking antennas. And that was just radio waves. So the other way that this negative orgone can affect us is with negative emotions. For example, if you walk into a room just after someone's had a verbal fight or a confrontation, the air itself will feel stagnant or heavy. Funeral homes are another place that the frequency of sorrow and sadness will turn the energy of the room negative, and it's not anything that you can help. It's a sad time, but that energy is a lower energy and it will bring you down. So these are things to be aware of. It's that DOR energy. So let's move forward in today's world, basing off of what Dr. Reich's theory was with just radio waves could affect us because we're radio antennas. Can you imagine what he would think about today's society? In my opinion, he would be absolutely horrified by the wireless radiation fields that we are surrounded by at this point. You almost can't get away from them. Things like cell phone radiation, 5G, 4G, microwaves, satellites, Wi-Fi, high voltage power lines, especially in residential areas and school areas. He would be absolutely appalled. There are ways that we can use these tools, cell phones and microwaves and power, that are not harmful to our environment and not harmful to our environment energetically. So it's not harmful to us, which would be things the way Nikola Tesla in his research was actually trying to figure out how to do, and I'm assuming he did, but there's a lot of mystery surrounding that man, so who knows what exactly happened. But in today's world, we're literally bombarded at all times by these DOR energy fields, the DOR fields. So anything that we can do to help increase and improve our energetic field within our own body actually will radiate out, because if we can get our own personal charge built up, we become a radio projector, not just a receiver. So we can project into our aura, which affects other people. So now that we have an idea of what orgone is and how it can affect us good and bad, now what? What do you want to do with this information? Well, first and foremost, to bring us into a positive state, diet would be the best option, It helps align us so that we can be in this higher frequency so that the energy from Orgone can actually benefit us more. Paying attention to what we put into our bodies with less chemicals, more natural based stuff. And I'm not saying a vegetarian diet because that also can become an imbalance. I've seen it with people. So there's balance in everything. That's the key to basically to life, in my opinion. And the other part is, and I feel like in today's world we've forgotten this in a great collective, is to pray or meditate over our food before we eat it. By doing so, we're actually tapping into this higher frequency and bringing that higher frequency to our food so that when we eat it, we're ingesting that. So it's not just coming in from our outside, we're actually bringing it into our bodies and allowing it to radiate from the inside out. So you're getting a dual front if you meditate daily, but then you pray or meditate over your food at every meal. And doing the same with your water is super beneficial. And any other drink that you're drinking is a way to improve it, as just for reference. Dr. Masaru Emoto discovered that water carries the frequency that it is charged with. So it is super important to pray or meditate over your water, and since our bodies are approximately 70% water, when we ingest a highly charged water, we're actually making our own bodies resonate to that higher frequency. And so there's the water bottles that have like crystals inside of them. Those are super helpful if you can afford it. Those are a little on the pricey side yet. They're starting to adjust the price, but you can do the same thing if you have a pure quartz crystal. Wash it really well in clean water, and you can just drop it in your water bottle, and it will charge the water into a more purified or a more energetic state. You can also take, if you have one of those like Brita pitchers or pure water pitcher things that you put in your fridge, you can take an Orgone and you can put it on top of it, and it will actually help restructure your water into a higher frequency. And you may not notice it immediately, but I know from having them all over my fridge, your water tastes different when you do that. And that's just, like I said, it's my experience, but that's something that I do personally. So, the other things that you can do is, like I said earlier, going barefoot outside when it warms up. Right now it's still a little snowy for me, but if you can get outside and put your bare feet onto grass or to soil, there's something about it that grounds out of our bodies a lot of these negative frequencies from electronics or just stress and things like that. It will ground it out. And when you walk around barefoot outside, you'll notice a shift occurs pretty quickly if you're paying attention to it. A lot of the times you just get so relaxed and so calm that you don't notice that there's actually a flow of energy going down and out your feet. And what you're doing when this happens is you're actually grounding that hyper-electric state that's not beneficial. You're allowing it out of your system. The other thing that you can do, if you are close to a place where you can do this, or if you're up camping or something like that, find a stream of water that's moving. You don't want stagnant, stale water. You want something that's alive, moving, fresh. Lakes are good for this, but streams are better. And just put your feet into it if you want to. If it's deep enough, you can sit in it. And it just allows that water to clean out and wash away a lot of your negative energies. Again, take care of, comfort. You don't want to get sick from doing it. But allowing that even for a few minutes, you will notice a difference. And again, I just have to keep going back to this one. Having living plants in your home, and if you're allowed to have them at work, do that. It just helps feel better in your own world. They put off oxygen, they're a living being, and they're a positive being, so they're able to generate more positive energy for you. So it's, to me, I love plants. I have them all over my house. So that's something that I really do strongly believe in. And the other part is you can wear a crystal or carry one to help bring this positive energy in as well. And in my experience, even rings that are set with actual gemstones, not plastic stones, actually will attract the positive energy because it is still a crystal. Diamonds are very high frequency gemstones as well. So you can basically, once you start understanding how to draw this positive energy in, it's not as difficult as it is sometimes made out to be. especially in today's world where we have access to so much information and so many things. You can order stuff from around the world in just a couple of days to a couple of weeks, depending on where it's coming from. So you can always access a lot of this stuff. So going back to Dr. Reich's original works, the other things that you can use to draw in frequencies that are orgone is the orgone pyramid generators and other shaped orgone devices. The pyramid shape is unique in that it draws up the energy. Sorry, I'm moving some things around on the screen here. It draws the energy up through the bottom, and it builds it into a cone form at the base. But then it cleans it through the middle, and then projects it out through the top. But it does it in this donut fashion. So it goes up, out, and around, back up. And so it's just a continual, like a scrubber of this energy. So that's what an orgone will do. But then you start adding in the other elements. Things like, in this one, rose quartz and white quartz. You start to build this extremely positive frequency. And as you add in these other components, you can adjust that frequency to very specific reasons. So I'm going by my experience with a lot of this stuff because that's what I do. I experiment and I'm always trying something different. In my experience with one of these pyramids, just a simple one like this, bringing it into an environment, it carries a field of about 3 feet or so around it at all times. So when you first bring it in, there's a bubble around it about 3 feet across. The longer it's left in a room, the greater this field of influence, because it's basically continuously pulling that energy in, projecting it out, pulling it in, projecting it out. And as it cleans an area, it will expand its bubble. So in approximately a week, even a pyramid just this size can clean the environment of an entire room. And it's just a way to help balance that energy field. In my experience, again, my experimentations and all that fun stuff, if you have one established, like you bought one last summer, and you decide to buy one tomorrow, when you bring it in, you want to set it next to the one that's already in the house. So when you set the new kid next to the old man, basically, you are establishing a harmonious frequency, and you want those to be together for about 24 hours so that they can tune in and build on each other. Once they're attuned, you can move the other one to another room. And the more that you bring into the environment, the stronger the field is, the more they will connect with each other. And this positive energy will grow at a higher than exponential rate with each piece that enters your environment. So if you have one, it's a bubble. If you have two, it grows exponential. And if you have three or more, I read the term geometrics because you're not just going up, you're going up and out. So it expands at a much more rapid rate. So each new one that you have will actually improve your environment to a greater extent. And again, we're talking metaphysics and energy, so this is not medical advice. Don't want anyone getting upset about that. With that being said, I actually build these, and I add various crystals for different frequencies to enhance the orgone energy that's being cleansed and produced. For example, with this one, it has rose quartz in it as well as the white quartz. So this is rose quartz layer here, and this is garnet, and then that's the white, and I also have some with red quartz. And those build in the frequency of love, compassion, and in general stability to a home. The one that I just showed you is actually, I call it the Power of Love pyramid, and I also have those in a cone shape. Cones are unique in the fact that they're not just a pyramid. Pyramids have the 4 points around the edges, but a cone is like if you took a pyramid and you spun it all the way around and it was spinning at high speeds. So you're actually having still the pyramid energy field, which builds and compounds, but in a cone form, so it's not just doing it to 4 directions, it's actually pulling in a much more smooth way. So cones and pyramids are the 2 best ways that I've found to use them, but there's so many other ways to carry them. There's necklaces, there's pendants that have They're good to have because you can touch your body, and they're something you can always carry with you. If you're the type of person who doesn't want to wear jewelry, or you don't want everyone to know that you're carrying something to help clean up your energy field, you don't want, like, maybe if you're in a work environment where your coworkers wouldn't be okay with that. There's also round ones, little pocket ones that you can just keep in your pocket, your purse, somewhere where no one else will see it, but you know it's there, and it will help to generate those fields around you. The other cool benefit that I have found with Orgone is meditation. So if you have one placed in your meditation or prayer space, it can actually help you deepen your meditative state and help you relax better. You can use any of the ones that you find that will resonate with you. There are some that are specifically charged and enhanced to deepen a spiritual path. I've seen them on a variety of different websites. I personally make a couple of them that are specific to spiritual paths. And there'll be a link in the description of this video if you are interested in seeing what I offer. And like I said, there's a bunch of different groups out there that make these. And so it's finding what resonates with you is my best advice on these. But again, my opinions. So I hope this does answer some of your questions about Orgone, what it is, and kind of what you can do with it. And I welcome questions. So if you have questions about anything that I talked about today, you can drop it in the comments. The thing that with Orgone energy and this type of work, and this is something that Dr. Reich mentions in a couple of the papers that survived from back in the day, he discovered a way to harness this energy. But due to things that occurred not on the up and up, I won't go into that in this video, I'll save that for another video, we are still discovering how to use this energy. He knew of ways to use it for healing physical ailments, which is super important, especially in today's culture where so much of what we do is trying to kill us. Our food is all messed up and we have electric energy pulsing through our bodies all the time. But there's so many ways that we can use this that he was only scratching the surface of. It is my opinion that there's really no limit to how we can use this energy field to better our lives today. So it's just something to think about with Orgone energy is there are ways to harness it, to bring it into your environment and help it work for you. And then once you do that, you can start understanding how it can be used in other ways. I just referenced health and meditation in mine, but I'm sure that if we put our collective minds together, we would find ways to use this energy as a greater benefit for the world at large. So I appreciate your time and your consideration. If this is content that you enjoy, you can like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate those things. And until next time, here's to your energetic health.